Picture this. A woman sits in a Vietnamese courtroom. She is 67 years old. She used to be one of the richest people in Vietnam. But today, she hears three words that will change everything: death by execution. Her crime? She stole $12.5 billion. That's not a mistake. $12.5 billion. This is equal to 3% of Vietnam's entire economy. To understand how big this is, imagine if someone stole 3% of all the money in the United States. That would be almost $900 billion. This is the story of Truong My Lan, a woman who went from selling hair accessories in a street market to controlling a banking empire. And then, she lost it all. This is one of the biggest financial frauds in human history. And the punishment? Death. Welcome to capital sins. Today, we're going to Vietnam to tell you the shocking story of greed, corruption, and a fraud so big that it shook an entire country. Let's go back to the 1980s. Vietnam is a communist country. The economy is controlled by the government. Life is hard. Money is tight. In Ho Chi Minh City, there's a busy street market. This is where we meet young Truong My Lan. She's helping her mother. They sell cosmetics and hair accessories. Nothing fancy. Just a simple business to survive. Lan is smart. She's good with people. She understands business. But in communist Vietnam, there is no space for big dreams. Private business is limited. Rich people don't exist here. Then something changes. In 1986, Vietnam introduces economic reforms called Doi Moi. This means renovation. The government opens the door to private business. Foreigners can invest. The economy starts to grow. For Lan, this is her moment. In 1992, she sees the opportunity. She marries Eric Chu, a businessman from Hong Kong. Together, they start a company called Thinh Phat. The business? Real estate. At first, it's small, a few properties here and there. But Lan is ambitious. She wants more. And Vietnam is changing fast. Cities are growing. People need homes, offices, and hotels. Lan is in the right place at the right time. The 1990s and the 2000s are boom years for Vietnam. The economy is exploding. Foreign companies arrive. The middle class is growing. Everyone wants property. Van Thinh Phat grows with the country. Lan buys land. She builds luxury apartments. She opens hotels and shopping centers. Her company becomes one of the richest real estate firms in Vietnam. But Lan wants something bigger. She wants power. Real power. And in Vietnam, power comes from one place: banks. In 2011, she gets her chance. Vietnam's banking system is in trouble. 3 small banks are failing. The government wants to merge them. They need someone to help, someone with money and connections. Lan steps in. She helps create a new bank called Saigon Commercial Bank, or SCB. On paper, she owns only 5% of the bank. This is because Vietnamese law says one person cannot own more than 5% of a bank. This rule exists to prevent corruption, but Lan doesn't follow the rules. She uses ghost companies. She puts family members and employees as fake owners. Behind the scenes, she controls more than 90% of the bank. Now, she has everything. A real estate empire, a major bank. Political connections. She is untouchable. Or so she thinks. By 2012, Truong My Lan is one of the most powerful business people in Vietnam. But nobody knows her face. She avoids the media. She doesn't do interviews, she works in the shadows. Her fortune is massive. Billions of dollars in properties across Vietnam and around the world. But it's not enough. Greed takes over. And this is where the crime begins. Here's how the scheme worked. It's complicated, but we'll make it simple. Lan controls SCB Bank. She wants money from the bank, but she can't just take it. That would be too obvious. So she creates a system. First, she sets up hundreds of fake companies. These are called ghost companies. They exist only on paper. They have names, addresses, and bank accounts, but they don't do real business. Then, she uses these companies to apply for loans from SCB. Remember, she controls the bank, so she approves the loans herself. The bank gives money to the fake companies. Then the money goes to Lan. How many loans? More than 2,500. How much money? Over 10 years, she takes $12.5 billion. But the total damage to the bank is even bigger, $27 billion. That's because the bank lost money in other ways too. To hide the fraud, Lan bribes government officials. She pays inspectors to look away. She gives $5.2 million to a senior central bank inspector. This woman's job is to check if banks follow the rules. Instead, she takes the money and stays quiet. Everything is hidden. Everything is secret. For years, nobody knows. The fraud continues. The money flows. Lan gets richer and richer. But there's a problem. The system is too big. Too many fake loans. Too much stolen money. The bank is becoming weak, and soon the truth will come out. By 2022, Vietnam's real estate market is in trouble. Property prices are falling. Companies can't pay their debts. Lan's businesses are losing money. Then, a trigger. The government cancels some bonds from a company linked to Phat. People panic. They start asking questions. Is the company in trouble? Is the bank in trouble? On October 8, 2022, the police arrest Truong My Lan. The news spreads fast. And then, chaos. Thousands of people rush to SCB Bank. They want their money. They don't trust the bank anymore. This is called a bank run. Long lines form outside bank branches. People are scared. Some people had their life savings in this bank. The government moves quickly. They take control of SCB. They pump $24 billion of emergency money into the bank to save it. They tell people, your money is safe, don't panic. But the damage is done. The economy is shaken. Investor confidence drops. The case becomes national news. The investigation begins. Police find 6 tons of evidence. More than 2,700 witnesses are called. 84 people are arrested, including Lan's husband, her niece, and many bank officials. The trial starts in March 2024. It lasts 5 weeks. The courtroom is packed. Vietnamese people watch on TV. They are angry. Some victims lost everything. One man, a war veteran, said he lost his life savings. A woman named Hoang Ngoc Deep lost $69,000. She called it her blood, sweat, and tears. On April 11, 2024, the judge gives the verdict. Death penalty for embezzlement. Life in prison for bribery. 20 years for banking violations. The courtroom goes silent. Lan looks shocked. Her family cries. Her lawyers say they will appeal, but the judge explains, the crime is too big. The damage is too serious. The money cannot be recovered. She destroyed people's trust in the banking system. She hurt the entire country. 84 other people receive sentences. Her niece gets 17 years. Her husband gets 9 years. Some people get life in prison. Lan appeals the death sentence. In December 2024, the court rejects it. She stays on death row. But there's one chance. If she can return $9 billion, 3/4 of what she stole, her sentence might be reduced to life in prison. Now she's in a race against time. Today, Truong My Lan sits in prison. She's trying to sell properties and assets to reach the $9 billion target. Her lawyers say she has enough assets, but selling takes time. Real estate moves slowly. About 36,000 people were victims of this fraud. Some held protests, which is very rare in communist Vietnam. Many people will never get their money back. The case is part of a bigger anti-corruption campaign in Vietnam called Blazing Furnace. The government is cleaning up. They've arrested hundreds of officials, business leaders, and even politicians. 2 presidents and 2 prime ministers resigned in recent years because of corruption scandals. For Vietnam's economy, the impact is serious. Foreign investors are worried. The real estate market collapsed. In 2023, 1,300 property companies closed. Empty buildings stand in city centers. This case sends a message. Nobody is too rich or too powerful to escape justice. So what's the lesson here? Greed destroys everything. Lan had wealth. She had success, but it wasn't enough. She wanted more, and in trying to get more, she lost everything. She also shows us how financial fraud works. It's not movie-style bank robberies. It's fake companies, false documents, and corrupt officials. It's a system built on lies. And finally, this case reminds us, trust is fragile. When people lose trust in banks, entire economies can collapse. Truong My Lan's story is a warning about corruption, about greed, and about what happens when the line between business and crime disappears. If you found this story shocking, hit that like button. Subscribe to Capital Sins for more stories of business failures and financial frauds. And let us know in the comments, do you think the death penalty is too harsh for financial crimes? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.